We sitting here, I supposed to be the franchise player, and we're in here talking about practice.
Iverson. Bothered by Lou. Iverson from the edge.
Talking about practice. Not a game. We talking about practice.
Now in the iconic video of AI, the reporter's asking him about his own team practices and not about the topic of practice itself. But I think it's a good opportunity for us to talk about something that is relevant not just to art, but to all facets of life. And that's the relationship between innate talent and learned skill. So let's talk about it. Welcome to the Time Chamber. If you're new to the channel, my name's Noah, and this channel is all about improvement and creativity. And if that's something you're interested in, consider subscribing. But in this video, we're going to be talking about the relationship between talent and skill and the role that plays in greatness. So what is talent? When I'm speaking about talent, what am I referring to? And to me, talent is like an innate ability, something that you're born with, like a natural aptitude at doing something. And there's no argument that talent exists and that certain people are able to grasp certain concepts quicker than others. When it comes to achieving and reaching new heights, talent is glorified, just seen as too important in the process of doing great things. And so that's what we're going to talk about. I feel relatively educated on the subject. I've read numerous books, from Outliers to Grit to The Talent Code to Talent is Overrated and others, and I'll link all those down in the bio for sure. But read few books on the topic, and they all pretty much say the same thing. They all say that talent is not the most important, not even close to the most important thing in achieving greatness. And the reasoning for people attributing certain things to talent is, like, as bad as it may sound, is like a kind of like a scapegoat. When you see someone who's done something amazing, you automatically want to attribute that to something that they were given and not something they had to work for, because if they worked for it, that means you could have had it too, and it's more of like a slight to you because you didn't put the time in. I want to make sure that I say that I don't think by any stretch that I have done anything great or achieved greatness, but in order to do something, you have to educate yourself about it. So this is just me sharing what I've learned so far about other people that have done great things. In the book Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell, he actually brings up a study of NHL players, and he finds that the players that are born in the early months of the year, like January, February, March, have a significantly higher chance of making the NHL than kids who are born in the later months. And at first glance, this makes no sense, because your talent and skill level is not dictated by when you're born. But after looking at the situation, it's pretty obvious why it's happening. The kids born in the earlier months have anywhere from 11 to 5 or 6 months to progress and get stronger, learn more, and mature over the kids born in December, because they're lumped into the same age group and the same leagues essentially. So a kid with 11 more months is going to be that much stronger, that much more coordinated. Because when you're a child, you learn at a quicker clip, and short time spans just allow you to pick up that much more information. So on that small scale, say you're just a fraction of a second or just a fraction better than the kid born later in the year, but you are better, the coach is going to pick you for a team, right? For either a select team or any other team. And because you get picked, you're going to go play on that team. You're going to have better coaching. You're going to play against better competition. And in turn, you're going to then get actually better than the kid born in the later months. And the cycle continues, because as you continue to get better, you again play against better competition, continue to get that better coaching, and it's just all downhill from there, snowball effect. So a lot of things like that actually come into play. And at the beginning of the video, when I said that talent was the least important thing in the equation, these are the types of things that go into aiding someone's success or their ability to even achieve something. Other variables such as your personality. As an artist, you need to be able to spend copious amounts of time in solitude, by yourself, in your thoughts, working on your craft. And if you don't enjoy that, then you could be the most talented artist in the world, meaning you could have the highest aptitude to learn how to paint or learn how to do anything artistically, but if you don't enjoy the act of sitting in a room by yourself or any sort of isolated act, you're not going to pursue that. So again, another factor in determining the time that you put into what you want to do, because I think time invested in your craft is really the crux. If you can find a way to carve out the time to do what you want to do, then you're going to get better and you're going to see results. In another book entitled Grit by Angela Duckworth, she has this equation and a saying, and the saying is effort counts twice. The first equation is talent plus effort equals skill. And the second equation is skill plus effort equals achievement. So again, effort plays into both equations, and the more effort you can put into something, the more that you're going to be able to achieve. And I'd really say that time, in the context that I'm using it, time and effort are synonymous. So there's no argument that talent is a real thing, but are you using your lack of talent, your perceived lack of talent, as an excuse to not do what you believe you can or that you want to? But I think there are a few ways to kind of hack the system. So say you make something, you might sell it, and if you sell it, the money that you make from that piece gives you the ability to spend time making more art. The more art you make, the better you get, the more reinforcement you get, the more time you have to create more work, which allows you to make more money doing your work, which all just gives you more time to get better at your craft, get better at what you're doing, and the cycle continues. So again, none of that has anything to do with talent. That's all just a feedback loop. If you can understand that and tap into that, then it's really powerful. And that can be dangerous, because then you're always looking for external gratification when internally I think that's the strongest force. But this is what I'm speaking about in this instance is just about getting started, doing everything that you can to jumpstart the ball. And once you get the ball rolling, then it's all downhill from there. But there's so many factors outside of your control that you need to use everything in your life to kind of help you do what you want to do. So let's use my story as an example. I have an interesting backstory as how I got into making art. But essentially, I was thrusted into fine art school at UNM, University of New Mexico. And looking back, I consistently get asked, is art school worth it? And in hindsight, I have clarity on what art school gave me. And it didn't give me any technical skill. It didn't teach me how to paint better, render anything better. It didn't help my drawing ability. It definitely didn't teach me how to spray paint. But what it did give me is the time. It gave me the ability to take out student loans, for better or for worse. Gave me the ability to, because of those loans, not have to work and just literally spend all of my time working on my craft. That's invaluable. Like I said earlier in the video, effort and time is the most important thing. Do whatever you can financially and socially to carve out time so you can put the effort in. And so art school was amazing in that aspect. It gave me 4 years to spend every waking hour working on what I wanted to do. I got a few jobs as an artist before I graduated, which kind of catapulted me into the professional world immediately before I even got my degree. And although I wasn't able to sustain myself as an artist at that point, it was just the start, just the beginning. And I'm only like 2 years removed from graduating, but I'm fully sustaining myself with my artwork and loving every minute of it. I know most of the people that watch this do not have aspirations to become artists. But how does that apply to you? What can you go do that you can put the time in, put the effort in to achieve great things? Yeah, maybe take a second to think about that and be encouraged to know that if you put the effort in, like, you can't lose. And I wholeheartedly believe that. In this day and age, if you put the time in, you put the energy in, you can't fail. And if you do, quote unquote, fail, you just use that as a learning experience to add to the next one. And then that's just a lesson. It's not an L, it's just a lesson. All that being said, go practice something so we can be like AI. But I hope you enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
The fall before the climb. Oh no. The more